The local SEO industry is filled with outdated tactics, contradicting advice, and gurus selling courses that promise overnight rankings. After helping hundreds of local businesses dominate their markets, I can tell you there's a fundamental problem with how most people try and learn local SEO. Today I'm going to show you how to actually learn local SEO, not just theory, but practical skills that get real results for local businesses. This is the exact learning path I wish someone had given me when I started working with local clients. So here's the truth about learning local SEO. Reading blog posts and watching videos like this one is only 20% of the journey. The other 80% comes from application and experience with real local businesses. Most people get stuck in the learning phase, consuming endless content without ever implementing anything. That's why so many people know local SEO but can't actually rank local businesses. I've broken down the local SEO learning process into 5 phases that build on each other, and by following this framework, you'll develop both a theoretical knowledge as well as practical skills that actually drive results for local businesses. So, before diving into tactics, you need to understand how local search actually works. Here are the core concepts you must grasp. Number 1 is the local 3-pack or the local map pack and how that differs from organic results or the SERP results. Number 2, proximity, relevance, and prominence as the 3 pillars of local ranking. Number 3, how Google treats different business models, service area versus storefront. Number 4, the relationship between Google Business Profile and your website. And number 5, how local intent changes the search experience. Let me break down each of these concepts for you in simple terms. So if I come in and search for plumber near me, you see these sponsored posts, sponsored search results, and then you see this map pack or the local 3-pack. And it's important to understand how to get into these results because these 3 get 60% of leads for a service type in a service area. The other thing to note quickly here is that if you're ranking number 1 on Google, here's where you show up. So you are showing up after the sponsored business posts, after the sponsored search posts, and the map pack. So if you don't want to pay for ads, the best way to rank and get your business seen is in this map pack for these high intent keywords like plumber near me. Okay, as far as Google's concerned, these are the most important things for local ranking. So relevance, distance, and prominence. I talked about distance as proximity, but that's basically the same thing. So if you come to this, how to improve local ranking on Google, this site, you can read more about how those ranking factors affect your rank on the Google map, which is where most of the business comes from for local businesses. Okay, another thing to understand is the difference between service area businesses and businesses with a storefront or a physical address and how Google handles those. So if we come into ponds, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning, we can see they do have a physical address located as well as a service area. You can create a Google business profile with just the service area, but having this physical address allows Google to know exactly where you're located so that when someone looks for a near me business, you have that distance. So if someone looks for a near me business, that distance is dialed in from Google's perspective and they're able to rank you higher. So that's where that distance measurement really comes into play is while you might say you're in the area, Google has no idea how close you are because Salt Lake City is 20 miles from Bountiful. And if you say you serve Salt Lake, you may not actually be a near me plumber from Google's perspective. And so having this address linked to your Google business profile is critical for getting that distance metric to rank correctly. In addition to looking at this information on your Google business profile, Google will also look at your website that's linked to your Google business profile. So having information that's relevant, especially relevant to your local area, not only just your service, but relevant to your local area, helps Google know that you are local and helps rank you. So that has maybe some to do with the relevance and prominence factors that Google takes into account when looking at rankings. The best resources for learning these fundamentals are Google's business profile guidelines, as well as their Get Started guide, the local SEO ranking factors study from Local SEO Guide, as well as the Local Consumers Review Survey from 2025. You'll be able to go through and see what all of these different resources have put out, get different data from the different resources, And this will give you the best fundamentals for what's really affecting Google's local rankings in 2025. But remember, understanding these concepts is just the foundation. Don't get stuck here. As I mentioned before, the single most important step in learning local SEO is having a real business to work with. This gives you a sandbox to experiment without the pressure of client expectations. Here are your options for creating your own sandbox. If you have your own local business, that's a great place to start. If not, a friend or family member's local business is a great second choice. If you don't have a friend or family member who might be willing to let you test things out on their business, a local nonprofit may appreciate volunteer services, or if not, you may be able to find a local small business with minimal online presence and offer free or low cost help. Okay, so here's what you need to do to set up that test business. So come into Google Business Profile and click Get Started. You'll follow the steps in order to get that Google Business Profile set up, and you want to make sure you fill out the Google Business Profile as complete as possible. The next step you're going to want to do is create or optimize their website with some local elements. Now, if they need a website, it may be worth getting on Fiverr to have one created cheaply, or doing a cheap build it yourself or templated website if that's something you want to learn how to do as well. The next step is to set up Google Analytics and Google Search Console. This will allow you to see what effects your actions are taking on their local rankings and their local traffic. And then you want to establish a baseline measurement as quickly as possible so that you can see over time what effect your services are having on that business's online presence, local rankings, as well as traffic and lead generation. Your goal here isn't to create the perfect strategy immediately. It's to have a platform where you can implement what you're learning and see real results in a real market. Phase 3 is to master local keyword research. And local keyword research is fundamentally different from general SEO keyword research. So here's my process for effective local keyword research. Start with the service and location combinations like plumber in Portland. Expand using these local modifiers: near me, in city or neighborhood, city plus service, best in location, and emergency/24-hour service and location. Next, use these tools for additional local keyword discovery. So if you use Google autocomplete with location terms, people also ask questions with local intent, Google Maps searches, competitor Google Business Profile categories and services, you may be able to glean some different keywords that should be targeted. Next, you want to analyze search intent for each local keyword. So is it navigational, looking for specific businesses, informational, where it's a research phase, or transactional? Those are the ones that are high intent, they're ready to buy. Now let me walk you through how we do local keyword research using ChatGPT or another AI tool to help expedite the process. So here is our keyword research prompt that we plug into ChatGPT and we've seen great results with. If you want to get access to it, I'll link it in the description, but you'll put in these inputs right here and it will look at all of this criteria to make sure that you are getting the highest opportunity keywords based on your location and industry. So it'll roll through your website and your Google Business Profile and look for where there are opportunities. And then it will spit out the results of the highest opportunity cities as well as the highest opportunity keywords. So that's how we typically do it, and that's a great baseline. And then once we've been able to work with the client for a little bit and see results for different keywords, we adjust our strategy to fit what is working and what's driving new business for that client specifically. So now we're on to phase 4, implementing the local SEO trinity. The local SEO trinity is the mastering of the 3 core elements of local SEO: Google Business Profile optimization, on-site local SEO, and citation building. Let's break down how to do each one. So for Google Business Profile optimization, your Google Business Profile is the cornerstone of local SEO. And here's how to optimize it step by step. Number 1 is verification, name, address, and phone number consistency across your citations, and make sure the information is 100% consistent across your Google Business Profile, website, and all directory listings. Next is category selection. Choose the most specific primary category possible that is relevant to your business, and then add relevant secondary categories. Next comes your business description. Create a keyword-rich description that follows this formula. The first paragraph is location plus primary service plus unique value proposition. The second paragraph should be specific services with local keywords, and then the third paragraph should be a call to action. The fourth step is to add your products and services, and add all of them with descriptions that include location-based keywords. The fifth and final step of Google Business Profile optimization is adding in your photos and your attributes. Make sure you add high-quality photos weekly and select all relevant attributes for your business. Whether it's wheelchair accessible, women-owned business, etc., people want to know about your business, and this is a great way to tell them about it. Okay, now that we're done with Google Business Profile optimization, let's move on to on-site local SEO optimization. So we're going to optimize your website for local search. The first step is creating a dedicated page for each service plus location combination using this template. Your header 1 should be your primary service plus location. For example, electrician in Evanston. The next part should be your introduction, a location-specific content mentioning neighborhoods and service. Next, you should have your service description with local keywords naturally integrated. You should have your unique benefits listed next for this specific service for your local customers. Next, you'll want to have FAQs addressing local concerns. You'll want to have location-specific testimonials, as well as a map embedded on the page showing your location clearly and a local call to action. You'll also want to make sure your homepage is locally optimized. So add a location-specific headline, include a locally optimized meta description, embed a Google map, and add structured data for local business markup. Feature location-specific testimonials and case studies so that everything about your homepage screams, "We provide our service in your location." Finally, for on-site local optimization, you want to create local content like neighborhood guides, participate in local events in your business, community involvement, as well as local case studies and success stories specific to your location or some of the locations that you're targeting. So I mentioned earlier the consistency of NAP across the web, and citations are a great way to build your credibility with Google as well as with other clients, but you do need to make sure that your name, address, and phone number are consistent across the web, and citations are a great way to manage that. So here's how we prioritize building and managing of citations. So your core citation sources are Google Business Profile, your Facebook business page, Bing Places, which is critical because that's what ChatGPT searches, Apple Maps, your primary industry directories like health grades for doctors. These are kind of the core or the primary citation sources you need to have. The secondary citation sources that are great to have as well is your local chamber of commerce, the Better Business Bureau, any additional industry-specific directories, local business associations, local media outlets, local networking groups. Get some links built and expand your online presence. So just talking a little bit about citation management, you need to ensure NAP consistency. I can't emphasize that enough. Using a citation management tool to monitor and update listings regularly is a great way to go. You also want to regularly audit these citations. Just go look at them, make sure they look correct, that the NAP is all in sync. And then the key with the local SEO trinity is consistency and completeness. So you need to have your Google Business Profile consistent and complete, your citations consistent and complete, and your local on-page website optimization consistent and complete. Finally, we're on phase 5, local link building and reputation management. So once you've mastered the basics, it's time to amplify your results with these advanced strategies. So here's some local link building strategies. Links still matter tremendously in local SEO, but you do need to focus on local relevance, especially when you're looking at ranking on Google Maps. So here are some ideas for local link building. Community sponsorships and sponsoring local events, sports teams, or charities. They'll usually offer a link to your page. You can also create a local resource that's valuable for your community and will attract links naturally. You can do local PR campaigns and develop newsworthy stories about your business that local media will cover. Local partnerships with complementary, and that is non-competing, local businesses, and even maybe step up, creating a local sponsorship program for local students to earn .edu links, which are super high authority. So before we move on, the second half of this advanced strategy is review management and generation. So reviews directly impact local rankings and conversion rates. So, creating a great system as a standardized review request process for your business to follow up with happy customers, either at the point of service or within 24 to 48 hours of providing your service, makes leaving reviews a no brainer because you've just provided a great service. Those people are happy. So, they're more willing in the moment to leave a review than if they're having to try and do it when it's not nearly as relevant in their life. You want to make sure that you respond to all the reviews, positive and negative. In fact, negative is even more critical. Use location keywords in responses and thank reviewers specifically for what they mentioned. When you're addressing negative reviews, do so professionally and offer solutions, offer to reach out to them, offer free services, etc. to make it so that anyone seeing that negative review understands how your business responds to conflict. And you just want to make sure that you're setting up review monitoring. Google will automatically email you when you get a new review. Just make sure you set up alerts so that you're getting in and responding to reviews in a timely manner, because those are the things that drive your business forward. Okay, really quick, let's just talk about our review system. So if you come in here, you can select any of these. Let's say it was excellent. We liked everything about it. Then there will be an AI generated review that person can then copy and go to Google. If I click it, because I manage this Google business profile, I won't be able to leave a review, obviously. But if I click this, it will then open up their Google business profile with the review text box. All they have to do is click paste and post it and leave 5 stars for our business. And that it's that easy to leave a review. So the easier you can make it to leave reviews for your clients, the better off you're going to be. The second part of reputation management is local competitive analysis. To stay ahead, regularly analyze your local competitors. Monitor competitor Google business profile changes, track category changes, note new photos and services, analyze review sentiment and volume, reverse engineer the competitors' local strategies by identifying their citation sources, analyze their local content, map their local link profile, and then fill in competitive gaps. Identify services that competitors don't offer, find neighborhoods they don't target, and discover the local keywords that they're missing. All of these are great strategies to improve your local reputation by utilizing the work that's already been done by other local businesses. Finally, we need to know if our local SEO results are working, and to do that, we'll track these key metrics. In terms of visibility metrics, we want to track Google business profile impressions and actions, local pack rankings for target keywords, organic rankings for location-specific keywords, citation accuracy, and completeness. For engagement metrics, we want to track click-through rates to the website from the Google business profile, direction requests, phone calls from Google business profile, and local landing page engagement. As far as conversion metrics go, we want to track contact form submissions from local pages, appointment bookings, quote requests, and sales attributed to local search. The real measure of local SEO success isn't just rankings, it's business growth. The goal is always to tie your metrics back to your actual revenue generated. Remember, learning local SEO is about the application, not just the theory. Here's what you should do immediately after watching this video. Find your local SEO test business this week. Set up their Google business profile and baseline tracking. Conduct local keyword research, implement one element of the local SEO trinity, and then track results and make adjustments week over week. The process of mastering local SEO takes time, typically 3 to 6 months of consistent application before you'll feel confident in your skills. Remember, the businesses that dominate local search aren't the ones with the biggest budgets. They're the ones with the most consistent and strategic approach to local SEO, keeping up with local trends. Now it's your turn to start implementing and seeing real results. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe for more actionable local SEO content. And if you have questions about your local SEO journey, drop them in the comments below. I'll get to them as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.